What's what are the biggest challenges organizations face when trying to implement or I guess update their governance?
I think the biggest challenge is making sure, first of all, that you have executive buy-in to do this. So many data governance efforts fail or die on the vine because there's really no leadership, there's no executive that really makes this a top priority of the organization. And that leadership can come from anywhere in the organization. It can be a chief data officer, it could be a chief information officer, it could be a chief operations officer. It doesn't matter if they're on the business side or the technology side or the analytics side. But somebody at that C level needs to make this a priority because organizations respond when leadership says this is a top priority. So that's the first thing. You've got to make sure that the leadership is on board. They're willing to fund this. They're willing to make it an organizational priority. So once you do that, now you're in a position where you can be successful. Next, make sure that you've crafted and created an organizational footprint, your operating model that can be successful. You've deployed your operating pieces in the right places so that they can have their eyes on the data, but they can do it efficiently and in an organized way. Give them the tools to be successful, train them, manage the change appropriately within the organization. Make sure the people are on board, create enough process, create enough policy so that the organizational guardrails are created so that we're obviously driving the way it needs to be driven,
Mm,
ensuring success in the organization. And then the final piece, which is probably the most important piece, scorecard, monitor, report, examine, and constantly enhance and improve. If you don't know what your success metrics are, you will never achieve success. So you have to understand what your goals are, understand what your success metrics are, and drive towards their success and constantly use that as your report
right.
card, as your measurement of your capability, and establish those goals and make those and create those goals in collaboration with your leadership to say we're going to get to this point by the end of this year and we're going to do it any way possible, and here are the measures we're going to put in place to get there. So constantly measure yourself to make sure that you're delivering the right value to the organization.
There's some excellent points there. And like I said, I guess easier said than done, isn't it? Like anything. Because like I said again, when you do change, so many different things pop up. You just and I guess you can't plan for everything, can you?
No, you
You
can't
gotta
plan.
get
Yeah, you can't plan for everything, but you have to be adaptable and you have to be flexible.
yeah.
So as things happen, you still, there's no one rigid approach to being successful. I can't sit out here and write the playbook to deliver data governance. So you've got to follow everything from page one to page 300. That's not realistic these days. You have to be flexible. So organizations have different levels of maturity. Some of them are much farther down the journey than others. Some of them need a lot of help. Some of them need a little bit of help. So let's put in the right prescription with some flexibility, some best practice. Here's how you can be successful, and let's get you to the right answer.